Hey y'all, it's Laura and welcome to my Purge Your Stash series. Now to begin, we are going to be talking about a couple of tips and tricks that I'm going to put at the beginning of each and every video in this series to help you work through your stash, because I don't know where you're going to find this series. Are you going to find it in the middle, at the end? Either way, you'll have all the tips every single time. So the very first tip that I have is to evaluate your space. So you're going to look at what you have storage-wise now and really think about if it's working for you. Is it accessible to you? Is it appealing to you? Do you want to go and dig through those bits and pieces that you have and the way that you have them currently organized? If that answer is no, then it's time to find a new system. Maybe do a little bit of research online and find new options for yourself that do appeal to you, things that you find exciting and interesting, and that's the way you want to go. Now, also in evaluating your space, you want to consider whether or not you're finding things easily. So is it fairly easy to go put your hands on what you need right now? Because if it's not, then your system isn't working. And that is another little layer of where you want to begin right now. Just look around what you have, make a list if you need to of ideas of things you'd rather use for organization. Really break down what is or is not working about your space. Secondly, we're going to define our space. So we're going to decide how much of our space are we going to devote to each individual thing. So for example, single sheets of paper. How many cubes in your cube shelf are you going to devote to single sheets of paper? Do you have a whole cabinet that you're devoting to single sheets of paper? Do you have a bin like this one to devote to single sheets of paper? That needs to be a very defined space, and that will give you a natural boundary and keep you from trying to hold on to everything. By defining that space, you will know that you have a limit. And another way you can define that space and create those limits is to create a time period limit. So this is looking at your stash and realistically asking yourself, how many pieces of paper can I use in, say, a year, 5 years, 10 years? Whatever age limit you want to put on your stash, you certainly can. And especially if you're trying to pare things down a lot. So if you really need to purge your stash in a big way, that's a great way to do it, is to give yourself a realistic timeline. How much can I use in this period of time? And that way you're not holding on to so much that you get overwhelmed every single time you sit down to scrap. The third tip is to work small and smart. And what that means is we're going to be separating things into small sections. We're not going to take all of one thing and try to make decisions on it at one time, because we will get overwhelmed, we will make a giant mess, and we will not want to continue the project of purging our stash. So I would encourage you to use one supply at a time, decide where you want to start, focus on those things, and then move on. So when we're going through the process, we're going to be creating 3 piles. We're going to have a yes pile. We're going to have a maybe pile. We're going to have a no pile. And a really important element here is that when things go in the no pile, they're gone. They don't live at your house anymore. We're not touching them again. Once it hits that no pile, it's done. Its life in your life is over. You're separating yourselves from that stack. So pretend that stack is gone. You may want to put that stack in a box that's a little bit out of sight so you're not tempted to dig through there and try to find supposed gems, because I promise you, if it was a gem, you would have put it in the yes pile. Along the vein of those piles, you want to make these decisions very quickly. You do not want to sit and think and mull over every single piece of paper, okay? Give it a quick scan. If you want to play with it right now, if it's exciting to you, or if it's something you know you'll use, put it in that yes pile. Or for the maybe pile, I would put things that you're like, I think I could use this, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite thing. I'm pretty sure I could use it, but I don't think it's my favorite thing. I'd put that in the maybe pile. And if it's a no, those are things that are no longer your style. They are things that just don't appeal to you in the moment. You're not scrapping that sort of thing anymore. Let me give you an example. If you used to scrap a lot of pictures of your kids going to school, so you have a lot of school collections, but let's say your kids are done with school, those collections are not that helpful to you anymore. They can go in a no pile. And that's a pretty safe way to sort out your piles. Now, another thing to keep in mind when you're making those no piles is you need to decide, am I gonna keep doubles So either yes or no, because sometimes that's a really quick and easy way to make a yes pile a little bit smaller is by taking those doubles and moving them to the no pile. I know that's hard because if we bought more than one of a sheet of paper or a pair of stickers, there was a reason. We loved it. The next thing I would say is, are you going to put an age limit on your stash? So is there a group of things that you bought 20 years ago but have not used? You've bought 10 years ago, but you have not touched. You need to really think hard about whether or not you're going to put an age limit on your stash, and if those things haven't gotten used in that amount of time, are you realistically going to use them? So ask yourself those hard questions before you start. Separate into 3 piles and then stick to your decisions. That maybe pile is going to just go into your yes pile if you have room and your no pile if you don't. So make sure those are quick and hard and fast decisions. Those are decisions you're going to stick by. And that is how we're going to purge our stash. Now let's head over to the desk and I'll show you what supply we are working with today.
All right, so for today, we're gonna be talking 6x12 or just these large packs of stickers and chipboard, all of these adhesive embellishments that come in these 6x12 packs. I have some 12x12 sticker sheets in the back. We're gonna go through those as well because I don't have a lot of those. So I just pop them in here. Again, a lot of this comes from design teamwork and from warehouse boxes. It's very unlikely I paid full price for the majority of this, if anything at all. And so I can be a little bit more brutal, and I have to be. This is a 31 bag that I got ages ago, and it works quite well for this purpose. So let's pull these out. I'm gonna separate them into groups and categories to make it quick to look through, see what I've got and what I can get rid of. We'll move over to the desk.
Okay, so I know with embellishments, this part's gonna be a little bit trickier for me. So might not be quite as quick, but we're still gonna try to make some quick decisions, putting them into the 3 piles. So I'm separated that big stack into sections so that I can see how much I have. I could find any doubles and try to put them together so that I could see that I have doubles, things like that, and put these in some sort of clean order. But we're gonna work through these, and I would like to get rid of probably half of my cardstock stickers. So let's go ahead and give this a go. I think the main thing I'm looking at are the colors that I reach for very often. Is the lettering style, if it has words, something that I like? Is it something that I would reach for? That's what I'm using. Now, Cocoa Vanilla, I'm just gonna tell you up front, I'll probably keep everything Cocoa Vanilla because I do really, really love it. So that one's gonna be a maybe. This one I've pretty much used up. There's not a lot left of that one that I think I would use. Happy Heart, I'm a big fan of. I love Pink Fresh Studio, probably will keep that. I love butterflies. I really, really love butterflies, but this one doesn't really catch my eye. I'm gonna let that go. All right, this one is Jen Hadfield, and I think I have 2 sets of this sticker in here. I do, yes, looks like it. But I'm not really a Jen Hadfield girl. I ended up getting these in kits and in warehouse boxes, and I've pretty much used up the ones I think that I really want to use. So I'm gonna let that one go. Cocoa Vanilla will stay. Pink Fresh Studio will stay. Vicky Booten will stay. This one we have is, I think this one is pretty much used up of the ones I really love. I'm gonna let that go. This Dear Lizzie set, so I have 2 of these, and I'm pretty sure these came in warehouse boxes. And while I do like some of the colors and could probably use some of these, the majority of them just really aren't my jam, so I'm gonna let them go. Valentine's Day, again, some of these I could use, but overall, not really interested in it. Same with this one. I could use some of these, like this is really pretty, the hearts, of course, but I'm gonna let that go. Felicity Jane, this is an old one, you have to fussy cut it out. And it's interesting, but I don't do a lot of winter scrapping outside of my, my December daily, so probably not gonna use that one. This Mom Life one though, it's an old one, but I know I had another one of these and used it all up. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that one. This is from last year's Echo Park Day in the Life. And I will say, I did pretty good using this, but a lot of these icons are huge or they're shaped in kind of the older style and don't super appeal to me, though I love the colors. So I'm gonna let this one go. This is a baby girl one. And again, Echo Park and I don't always just agree on the design style of some of their embellishments. So I'm gonna let that go. Simple Stories, however, is another story. So I do really like this one. I think I could still use it. My nephew is 2. I think we could still use that one. This one has a very bold color scheme to it. This is Addison by Bella Boulevard. And while I love Bella Boulevard stickers, and I think this could be usable still, I'm gonna put maybe on that one, just because the color scheme is not something I would reach for super often. Now this one's gonna break some hearts. This is Photo Play, and it's not really my style. I do like a lot of the sentiments on it. The color scheme though is not grabbing me. I don't really love this mix of colors, so I'm gonna let that one go. Probably the same with these two. So I have the Bella Boulevard swimming ones, and while I really like the alphas and could keep them just for that, the rest of these, I don't know, some of them are pretty generic. And we do swim fairly regularly. I'm gonna say we'll keep these two. This one, however, is very vintage. I don't do vintage. I guarantee this came in a warehouse box. I would not have picked that out. This one's a little too babyish. I think even though I do have a little niece who is like 5, this is a little too babyish for her even, and it's not my particular style, so I'm gonna let that one go. This one is quite cute. This literally could be for baby stuff, but again, I'm not a huge fan of icon scrapping with. I think it's beautiful. I love it. I'm not a huge fan of scrapping with these sort of babyish type elements. They're just not my style, so I'm gonna let that go. As far as this, I love autumn, guys, but this is the same thing, right? It has this very cartoonish look that is just really not my style. So I'm gonna let that go. This one is from Kaisercraft, I'm pretty sure. I actually like this a lot, so I think I'm gonna keep that one. This one is stickers from Simple Stories. I think I can use a lot of these, especially because my teenagers are getting into more group events. I think that one will get used. Simple Stories Sunshine. Now this one I had in a kit recently, and I think I've used the ones I really would like to use for the most part. Couple that I could probably still use, but I think I'm gonna let that one go. This last one is from Bella Boulevard, Make Your Mark, and I'm gonna let that one go as well. So I did pretty good there. Pulled out, I kept these ones, right? This is what I ended up keeping. Okay, this section. Not bad, not bad. This is what I ended up getting rid of. So I think I actually got rid of more than I kept. And because I did so well with that, I'm gonna let myself keep the 2 maybes. That is my reward for getting rid of things. So pretty good there. I think I did about half in the end. Maybe a little more going than keeping actually, so that's pretty good. So that's it for the cardstock stickers. I'm gonna grab another section and we'll get to work on that one. Okay, so these are specifically Puffy stickers. So these are just the larger sized packs of Puffy stickers. I do have smaller packs that are in a Raskog over there, and we'll go through those separately, or I will go through those separately, but I figured this is a good example to just show you guys kind of how to work through all of these things. You want to pull together everything you've got so you can see how much stash you're starting from and what you finish with. So let's start at the bottom of the stack, actually with the big ones. I'm going to turn this over, and that way I can put them down in order. So I don't love the color scheme on that one. Amy Tangerine, I do really like. However, I'm finding I don't love the big foam for embellishments. I like it for titles because I typically put titles on top. But for these types of embellishments, I don't love foam. So I'm gonna let that one go. This one is a winter theme. I don't really scrap a lot of winter because here in the South, we don't really have much of a winter. So I'm gonna let this one go. This can go. I don't really, like I said, I don't really do a lot of this. That came in a grab bag of some kind. This is Puffy stickers from Hip Kit. Now looking at this particular set, I see lots of florals I could use. I think I'm gonna put that one in the maybe pile. This one is very teenager-y, so I should probably keep it. I do have 3 teenagers. This one is very pretty, but I do have 2 sets. And I'm looking at the icons to see what I can use, which ones I would pick. And I actually really like this set, but I don't think I need 2. So I'm gonna put 1 in yes, 1 in no. I will keep doubles if I think I can use them. This one, I'm not a huge fan of speech bubbles, but you can always trim that little speech bubble part out if you wanted to. The other thing about these puffies is they're kind of deflated in the middle. So I'm gonna get rid of 1 and keep 1. These are little word stickers, and I do like little word stickers. I'm looking at what kind of words we're talking about. So this is summer themed. That's something I could definitely use. This one has kind of a new year kind of thing to it. Your personality sparkles. I love my family. Okay, I think I could use those. This one, not as excited about. A lot of coffee things in here. And I'm not a coffee drinker, so I'm gonna let that one go. These are some flocked stickers. I actually love these, so we're gonna keep those. Felicity Jane, those look pretty easy to use. Black and white's pretty easy to use. This one I've already included in a kit, and I think I've used up the majority of the ones I really like, so I'm gonna let that one go. This one I know I have several of because I got 1 in a kit, and then 1 in a Pink Fresh Studio warehouse box, and then another one, I think, in a Hip Kit warehouse box. So I ended up with 3 sets. That said, I love the color scheme on these. I think there's a lot of things, butterflies, florals, backpacks, cameras, books especially, that I think I can use easily. So I am going to keep 2 and let go of 1. What else have we got? I've got some pretty stars. I think those will be easy to use. Same with these. I think these are gonna be easy to use. Halloween, I don't really scrap a lot of Halloween. We do occasionally do a Halloween layout here and there, but my kids are getting a bit old for this, and so I'm gonna let that one go. These are just super easy to use. I love Elle Studio. These sets are just so easy to use, super generic, and that works for me. Same with that one. This one is part of the older style of Elle Studio, and I don't like it as much as I like the new style, so I'm gonna let that go. Hearts, super easy to use. This one I've included in a kit and don't really love what's left, so that can go. This one is Echo Park. Again, Echo Park and I really are not on the same level with embellishment style, so I'm gonna let that one go. Jen Hadfield, I do love these quite a lot. I think I've used a whole pack of these already, so I'm gonna keep those. And then the Chamel little puffy stickers. I think this is from her baby collection, and that is one of my favorites of all time. So we will be keeping those. I did pretty good. I think I ended up close to half and half. And so I'm gonna let myself keep these. And so that's pretty good, I think. Knocking it down from that tall stack to about half here on the puffy stickers. So I think that's pretty good. All right, we're gonna do one more section on camera, and that is these. So these are the kind of super thick, chunky sticker type embellishments. And I don't have a lot of them. And I threw this set in because it was one random thing that I had in that bag that I don't know why I bought them. They're interesting and paintable, I believe, as well. And I think I'm going to keep them because they're paintable and because I think I can change them and have some fun with them. I will keep those. The wood veneer is always going to be tricky for me, guys, because I do love wood veneer and I definitely want to keep these ones. What throws me on this set is the black. If they were all in gold writing, I would keep it without question. I really do like the smaller hearts and stars though, so I may pull those off and pop them onto another container, but the black on top of the wood veneer, I'm just not a huge fan of. So overall, I'm gonna put it in the no pile, but I will probably go in and pull off the little ones that I can use. These ones are, again, Jen Hadfield, and this is just really not appealing to me, which is strange because the color scheme's pretty. I love gold, but something about these, I don't know. I just don't love them. I think I could use them, so let's put maybe. This one from Pink Fresh, I don't love these. I get them in kits all the time and I just don't love them. Here's more of them. I've tried to use them up in kits and couldn't. So I'm gonna let these go. Not a huge fan of buttons, to be totally honest with you. I am not a fan of buttons, so I'm gonna let those go. I do really like these. They're kind of like cut files, sort of, but they've taken the foam and backed them with paper, which is awesome and cool, and I love that. So we'll keep those. And because I've kept 3, gotten rid of 5 packs, I think I'm gonna let myself keep these and challenge myself to use them quickly. So expect to see those getting used pretty soon. But that's it for this particular section, the sticker section. And I hope that was helpful. I do think it's a good idea to keep going quickly and not to give yourself too many excuses. But every once in a while, like I said, in this case, I'm gonna allow myself to pull off my favorites and leave the rest. And that's okay too. Be flexible with yourself, but not to the point of keeping everything. I hope that was helpful, guys. Until next time, bye y'all.